Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. My name is Ben Kelly and this is the Liverpool Development Watch. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. We've got plenty to talk about this week on the show. A little bit later on, we're going to be talking about Divock Origi finally doing something good for Wolfsburg and a tough result for Liverpool U23s. But we're going to start with the loans as always, and we're going to talk about Harry Wilson, who continued his fine form for Hull City as he got yet another goal in their 4-0 win over QPR on Sunday, and an assist as well. Really, really good stuff from him. Really, another good, bright performance, and it brings up to his stats to these on the screen right now. After 8 games, he's got 6 starts, 4 goals, 3 assists, 2 man of the matches, and 1.6 key passes per 90, as well as 2 successful dribbles per 90. And if you ask me, they are some pretty darn good stats for down there in the Championship, even particularly at a struggling club such as Hull City, who are fighting for their lives at the moment in that division. In fact, today an article's been published in the Liverpool Echo about how he wants to make his mark on the Liverpool squad next season rather than being loaned out again. The quotes in the article are as follows: "My confidence is high, but that comes from playing minutes and the team doing well," he said. "It was what I wanted, and thankfully I've been given the minutes I wanted here. I've come into a team that's playing well, and I've managed to chip in with a few goals and assists, which is even better. I'm ready to go back to Liverpool in pre-season and try and stamp my mark on the team." And that's all you want from players like these. You know, you want them to be hungry, you want them to be devoted to try and get into Liverpool first team. Look, you can spend years and years and years in Liverpool's academies and in their youth systems, but actually getting into the first team and breaking that mould is a ridiculously hard challenge, and only a handful of players have succeeded in the past, and I really think that Harry Wilson could be one of those players, thanks to this loan spell at Hull City that he's doing really well in, next season to get into the squad and really chip in with some goals for us himself. We're going to be playing plenty of games next season. We'll have the cup competitions, which hopefully we'll do a little bit better in. It's looking like we're going to have Champions League football again, and of course the core of the season, which is those 38 Premier League games. And I just think it is an absolutely massive opportunity for Harry Wilson to get some game time. And if he's hungry enough to do it, he definitely will succeed, because I know that he's got the talent to succeed in this Liverpool side. But we'll move on. We'll move on to Naby Keita, who completed 90 minutes for Red Bull Leipzig as they put one foot in the Europa League semi-finals with a 1-0 win over Lazio. A bit of a funny game to watch this, because obviously Lucas Leiva is playing for Lazio, and I don't really know which side I want to get through, because I want both players to do well. But right now, Leipzig have the advantage. He didn't register a goal or assist, which is absolutely shocking news when it comes to Naby Keita. But they play again tonight versus Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, and then of course they've got that second leg of the Europa League quarter-final on Thursday against Lazio. Big game, they're 1-0 up. Let's wish Naby Keita a whole lot of luck in that game. And of course, the Liverpool Development Watch would not be complete without a Keita countdown. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is 83 days until Naby Keita pulls on a Liverpool shirt. Getting closer, everybody. Getting closer. Try and stay calm. Shea Ojo was back in the Fulham squad as they beat Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 away from home. He got an hour on the pitch, had a pretty decent game before being subbed. He's had a few little injuries here and there over the last few weeks, so it's no surprise really that he didn't get the full game. He got just an hour of playing time. Like I say though, he did pretty well. He had an 85% pass completion rate and won 60% of his duels. So all round a good performance and a good win for Fulham as they push for a playoff place in the Championship. Marko Grujic wasn't involved in the Cardiff City squad on Friday as they played Wolves, but that doesn't mean he's being recalled as many people thought it might have been. Actually, the rules do state when he's loaned to an English Premier League side, not to a Premier League side, but to an English side, whether it be Premier League, Championship, or any other division, it means he cannot be recalled. We discussed earlier in the season about loans, and actually we thought that one of the benefits of loaning Divock Origi to Wolfsburg in Germany was that we would have that option to recall him if we needed to. Now, obviously, we've not needed to use that option because we have options in the squad up front, but Marko Grujic doesn't fall into that same category. He's at Cardiff City, an English side, even though they're based in Wales. And that means that we can't recall him despite our injury problems in midfield at the moment. And actually, it's thought that the reason he wasn't involved on Friday against Wolves is that he has a little injury himself and Neil Warnock didn't want to risk him. They have a few midfield players coming back from injury at the moment, which means that it wasn't that crucial that Grujic got on the pitch here, which probably means he was just rested by Neil Warnock, and he'll be back this week. Perhaps though if he was on the pitch, he'd have scored one of those 2 penalties at the end, given that none of the other Cardiff players seem to be able to do so. We'll move on though to the big story of the show. Divock Origi got an outrageous assist for Wolfsburg as they beat Freiburg 2-0 away from home. He sends the defender for the echo by the corner flag. Really good piece of skill from Divock, seriously. I have been critical of him over these last few weeks because it hasn't been working for him there at Wolfsburg, but I'm really, really pleased to see him contributing to games again. He'd actually only been on the pitch for 10 minutes or so after coming on as a sub, but what a difference he made. Hopefully on the back of this he can end what has been a disappointing season for him, really, with a good flourish of form, and hopefully put himself back into the frame in the summer in terms of where he'll be next season. Will he be at Liverpool? Will he be on loan again? Or will he be sold completely? I'm not so sure anymore. A few weeks ago he looked dead and buried, and he looked like he was going to be moved on permanently by Liverpool in the summer, but I'm not so sure now. I'm wondering whether he's done enough over the last few games. Not just this, but he has been a little bit brighter over the last few games, even though they've only been sub appearances. And I'm just wondering now whether he's done enough to put himself back in contention for a spot in Jurgen Klopp's squad next season. Meanwhile, another striking option that we probably won't have next season, Daniel Sturridge. He's still out injured, but he is making real progress according to Baggy's first team coach Darren Moore, who's taken over after the sacking of Alan Pardew. It will be mainly really good for him if we could at least see him one more time in a West Brom shirt before the end of the season, get himself some minutes going into the summer. I think with this injury, he's probably blown his World Cup chances, unfortunately, but we'll wait and see. He might be able to come back and make an impact and maybe get on that plane, but I highly, highly doubt it. The youth sides then, we're going to move on to Neil Critchley's under-23s. They drew 1-1 with Arsenal after conceding yet another stoppage time goal to have the win snatched away from them. They were, of course, without Rafa Camacho, Curtis Jones and Connor Masterson, as they were all involved in the first team set-up on Saturday at Goodison Park in the Merseyside derby. It was a real proud dad moment for me, I'm not going to lie. But it was Tony Gallagher's first ever goal that seemed to have the points wrapped up for them until really, really late on, right at the death. Arsenal's following Balogun, sorry, another name I can't pronounce, levelled it up right before the full-time whistle, leaving us 2 points behind Leicester and Arsenal going into the last two games of the season. Next up for them is the Merseyside derby. It's one that they must win, and not only because we want to keep beating Everton, but also because they want to keep those title hopes alive, and I really do think that anything other than a win will deny them the title in Premier League 2 this season. And finally, for Steven Gerrard's under-18s, it was yet another frustrating afternoon. Again, with quite a number of his players playing for the under-23s and beyond, he has a very limited amount of choices for his squad at the moment, Steven Gerrard, so it's clear that this team don't know each other all that well. He told LiverpoolFC.com after the game, it was tough, we've got very limited options at the moment, and we had 3 under-15 players in the squad and a couple of trialists. It's very tough, and it's a different group of players to what we had a few weeks ago, but we've got to carry on and keep giving our very best. We managed to get back in the game when we made it 2-1, and we were then thinking that the next goal is massive, but once it went to 3-1, there was no way back, and we didn't deserve anything out of the game. And as always, Steven Gerrard, very well spoken, very honest in these types of interviews, and hopefully the lads can bounce back and get a few more wins before the end of the season, because they've worked very hard this season, and I know that they deserve it based on the performances that this team has put in over the course of the campaign. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much for watching the Development Watch once again. I will be back next week with another episode. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the season, which will unfortunately mean the death of Development Watch until August. But thank you very much for watching, as always. For now, though, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, follow me on Twitter at bkelly776, and I will be back next Monday, as usual, where hopefully we may well be in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Have a good week, Reds.